Greetings, fellow residents of the Glow Forest. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Pacifists. Episode 2, Food, Fuel, and Future, all made of fungus. Alright, so now that we're getting that done, let's go ahead and get the high-tech research bench. Plop it there. Because we are a mechanitor we start with microelectronics. So we can jump straight to a high-tech research bench, which is why I didn't have a standard one, because, like, why bother with the standard one? It's slower. Alright, Quantum. I'm going to have you go grab our Nutrimine. There's 74 of it, so that should be one hand load. Could I have two in this room? I could hypothetically have two, sure. I could build another one here and like a multi-analyzer there. So I made it large enough to accommodate two. I do have two people that could hypothetically research. I just don't... initially, I'm not going to be producing a ton of power, so I'm going to be a little bit more judicious about the amount of power that I use. Once I get all the like steam geysers tapped and whatever, then we can start going wild. But going wild right at the start doesn't really make that much sense. Oh, rip chinchilla. Alright, the game is also warning me that I need a meal source, so once I get the chemgen in, you can just drop that there. Once I get the chemgen in, the next thing is to get a kitchen in. So, right now what I'm doing is making a research lab and power generator. Can you do anything with the sulfur vents like geothermal? No. Nope. They're just there to darken the skies. And as far as I know, you can't stop that. Like, a naturally occurring break in the ground, which from which volcanic gases escape. These vents bring nutrients to the surface, which is why it's so fertile here. From deep underground, collectively the fumes they spew are enough to block out the sun. As far as I know, you can't just like wall them all up and turn a glow forest into a not glow forest. You can't change biomes. But it smells delicious here? Yeah, probably smells like eggs. Rotten eggs. Sour farts. Mix both. Oh, great, a heat wave. Woo! Just what I wanted. Alright, let's set up a passive cooler. Two of them. Because we are 4th of April, May, and it's already 94 Fahrenheit out, and it's only going to get worse. So thank you, heat wave. So thoughtful of you to cook me. So we've got a little bit of chem fuel just from all the boom shrooms. And soon we're going to have a source of power. In order to cut down on like filth and waste and all that, I am just continually concrete flooring up everything. Concrete floors are cheap, they're fast. So they're my go-to. Alright, taking a look at the overhead mountain overlay. Indeed, we can have a wooden door right here. So I don't want to dig too close to the entryway tunnel. I'm just going to leave it like a 2-wide gap. But we can start putting our heat generators and power generators here. And for now, I'm going to keep it really simple. Just enough room for, like, a chem gen or two. And then we're going to want space for a battery eventually. And Uko, thank you for the resubs. So if we go to power, let's go ahead and shrink this section of the plan. And we'll put a chem gen right here, and we'll put another one there. Once we need the extra 1,000 watts. Does anyone know how darkness affects pawns in this run? It doesn't. We have darkness meme. We are darkness adjusted. I mean, we're slower because he's wearing a flak vest, but darkness does not matter to us. So we do have a bit of like home field advantage when it comes to dealing with the darkness, because we are unaffected by the darkness in the same way that potential enemies would be. Ugh, it is hot. I might even need to put a passive generator into the or passive cooler rather into the farm. You've never played with darkness meme before today? So yeah, let me cover the darkness meme. Darkness meme. We hate the light, so grow lights will suck for us, unfortunately. But and we hate normal lights too. So we want dark light lights, or dark light torches, or dark light braziers. Dark light is preferred, eclipses are beautiful, and it negates any penalties for darkness. And then there isn't going to be like a moodlet for like, I'm in the dark. With that said, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to use lighting. Because dark meme actually do like dark lights. But, alright. Now that we have the power generator and research bench hypothetically queued up, the next thing to do is to go for kitchens. I think I'm actually going to move the kitchen plan. Let's actually remove this plan entirely. So, these are all separate plans. So, if I open up the overlay here, I'm going to put a kitchen... what I want to do is I want to excavate this... more plans. I want to excavate this a little bit more, and then have the kitchens have coolers directly into them, so that our food doesn't go to waste. Oh, it looks like RCV is... So we need more steel in order to finish. I'm going to mine up some steel before I mine up where the kitchen's going to go. So we still don't have the power generators, and I'm still not researching yet, and I really want to start researching ASAP. Alright, so undormant, because now you can build the chem gen. So once I have a good idea of what the silhouette of this overhead mountain area looks like... Oh, do I trust you? I guess you did it. I guess you did it. So what I could do is I could put 2 freezers here, and then my kitchen here, maybe? And the advantage of this is if we have a biofuel refiner right here, it's right next to our chem gens, so it's like super convenient. So let's put a door to the kitchen here, and then in this area, 11 by 9, that's pretty good. This area will be where our dining room is. But I'm not going to mine that out just yet. So we'll have kitchen, dining room. The other thing I'm probably going to want to do... Oh, you know what? Before I do any of that, let's correct something. If we want this cave here, this tunnel to be the heat dump, I can't block the heat dump area with the kitchen. So the idea that I have is that I'll have a bunch of coolers pointed like this to freeze Actually, no, it'll be fine, because then I can just put the heat dump down there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's fine. Let me revisit that. So we mine that out for freezers. We mine this out for kitchen. I'll have it be even bigger than I had before. And then the path for the heat dump. This is not the path for the heat. Well, yeah, I see the arrow with that as well. Maybe I'll do it. I'll keep mining out this area, and then mine out an area for the heat dump here. Once Crimson's done recreating. And we're most... Oh, there we go! So we're starting the research now. That's great. And I'm gonna just do a quick dump stockpile, because this research room is full of sandstone chunks, which are gonna slow down research rate. So I might as well just drag them out. There we go. So this is a clean lab, and we are researching biofuel refining. And then let's get a wall lamp here, and a wall lamp here for dark lights. Just for the mood bonus. The light level doesn't ultimately matter. Alright, this looks spacious. So I think the idea that I'll do is, I'll dump heat to this, and then have the kitchen here, 9 by 9, and then have the kitchen also have its own dedicated coolers. And then we'll pick up the other half of the heat dump on the other half. It will make sense once it's done. I conceptualized it though, and this will work. Everyone's going to sleep? Yep. Okay. With these wall lamps, we want to change to dark light. And now we can start dark lighting the areas that we are frequenting the most for mood. Alright, you look idle, so dormant self-charge, and RCV, same deal. Perfect. Oh, that was a short heat wave. Not gonna refuel these. I got lucky there. So, the plan is to have 1, 2, 3, 4 coolers leading to this heat dump. And then do more coolers down here if the zone allows us. That way we can manage the base's heat easily. Now another thing I'm going to need to do real soon is to get that trap corridor up, because having only 2 simple mechs guarding me is reckless at best. So that's going to be another mining project. But I'm going to want a kitchen too. So let's get the kitchen now. And then go for the trap corridor. So then right in this spot we'll have 2 dedicated freezers for the kitchen. And at the very start, I'm going to have like a smaller kitchen to be bigger at some point. So this is like the future size. We'll just start off with a small kitchen so that we can get it going quick. This run's going to require a lot of steel. Sure it will. It's going to require a lot, like full stop. All right, wooden door there. Yeah, I guess it's fine. And I've got 690 spare watts, so that's plenty for an electronic stove. Or electric stove. And what we're going to want to do is to put a shelf in here for meals. That is not packaged survival meals. And then a shelf in here for fungus. And then get it all floored up so we don't spend the next 3 days vomiting because of a dirty kitchen. So Crimson, your immediate mining needs are almost done. So the research room and power generators are done. Build a kitchen is the current goal, obviously. And then the trap corridor for our protection. Early game, we'll be able to get away with using traps. Late game, we'll need more than that. Okay, just hauling the chunks out. Eventually going to want the chunks gone, but... Ow, for the love of... Seriously. Alright, I am missing components. That's not true. Is Quantum... Who's monopolizing the components? Yeah, there we go. Tim was, because he was coming in to make it cooler. Can you deliver the materials for the door, the shelf then? And then we'll need to run a power conduit down this way, so that we can actually power this things up. And I have enough for one freezer, not two. That's fine, I'll keep the other one off. And we'll bring this down to frozen temps. And now we have a kitchen. Granted, we have a kitchen that doesn't have food in it yet, but that's the work of our robot. And boy, do I have a lot of Nutrifungus. Holy hell. Did not think I'd have that much this quick. So, bills, cook simple meals, do until we have, like, let's say 20 is fine, and make it only out of raw fungus. Because, of course, we don't love it, but we don't mind the fungus, and that's what we have available to us in mass. Fungus don't care. Tim, you're the cook. Cool. Now that I have that side project done, trap corridor is the next most important. Quit daydreaming. So the idea here is we'll have 2 doors. Oh, well, that's a terrible spot for that light. We'll have 2 doors here and here, and we can direct traffic through the trap corridor when we are under threat. We'll have a trap corridor door here. And then we'll set up the blunt traps, but I really don't intend to use blunt traps much. Because they're very resource intensive and rather ineffective. So we'll use the ones we got for free for being non-violent, and then we'll transition over to spikes. Alright, cook simple meals. Ingredient radius is going to be tiny, so we don't go running around the map for fungus, because that doesn't make sense. Biofuel refining is 5/7 done. So soon we'll be able to get a biofuel refiner up in our kitchen and be able to make chem fuel for the chemgen, so we don't have to run around harvesting boom shrooms for it, which is going to be real convenient. Alright, also before we lay these traps down, let's get... Oh wait, you stopped there? Are you kidding me? There we go. Let's go ahead and get the 2 doors there, so we can control the flow of traffic. And RCV, your work is up. Another thing we might want to do pretty early on is to get a mech recharger, because our little robots are rather low on power. But before I do that, I'm going to want another chemgen, because one chemgen is not going to be enough for a recharger and the freezers we need, etc., etc., etc. Glitch, thank you for the chair. So we'll have access doors to be able to rearm the traps this way. And I'll just have the capacity for a little bit more traps. I'd like to only lay them out once we have the granite chunks out of the way, though, because I don't want anyone getting chunk killed. Trying to leap over the chunks while we arm the traps sounds pretty dangerous. Ridmeshi, thank you for the resub too. Cheers. Now initially I think what I'll do is I will have that wild path be through the trap corridor. Because that's going to be just safer, generally speaking. And as we cut stone, we'll be able to free the trap corridor from path blockers and move around a lot easier. Okay, let's get the traps in. That should be enough for like the first wave or 2 of attackers. Alright, next task. Let's put a pause on the simple meals and finish the kitchen. Because I would like to store the food in a freezer rather than on the ground where it's just going to spoil, because that's a lot of effort to be wasted if we let it go bad. And then Kadath is at 12%, RCV is at 19, so we're also going to need a mech recharge pretty soon. And that also means, Crimson, take a moment to mine steel, because it looks like we are just about out of steel, because we're going to want another chem gen for this as well. We're just about to get done with biofuel refining, so we'll be able to pivot over to new research in a moment. So I'm going to plan, because multi-analyzer needs machining anyway. I'm going to plan on getting smithing, the smithing to machining, and then probably go to gun turrets, because gun turrets are going to be more economically viable for their cost in the short run than traps. Spike traps are just not efficient. Damage for steel cost. Oh man, we are... Okay, if we are running that far to have a meal, I'm gonna temporarily put my, my tables here, so we don't run like a marathon every time we want to take a meal. And let's build a copy of this light. And plop it there. Pretty soon it's going to ask me to have a moral guide. So maybe I'll do the moral guide in the morning. Ideology, ritual spot right there. And once Quantum and Crimson is up, or Quantum and Tim is up, I'll have them do the guide. Well, actually, this one would be really nice to mine out too. Or steel door as a shortcut through the whole thing. And all of our steel is immediately going to traps. All the more reason to pivot away from traps. Because they're just so pricey. So I'm expanding the kitchen so that we can just accommodate more of the Nutrifungus before it rots. And I've got like 24 days to do it. Kenneth, you should dormant self-charge. And RCV, a torrential rain. Ooh, fun. That's a weird place to go dormant, but sure. Torrential rain. So what this does, if you're unaware, is it basically expands any water that is on your map tile so that it becomes more swampy. I already have walls into my base, so it's not going to like overrun the base full of water. So I'll be fine. It's just people gonna get wet. Oh, home zones. Oh boy, yes. I was like trying to clean. I was like, why can't I clean? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. How big is the difference between wood versus steel traps? Massive. Wood traps suck. Stone traps aren't very good. It's basically the spike traps here are sharp damage. So sharp damage modifiers matter a lot. I can make, if you're curious, a wooden trap as like a joke, but wooden traps are objectively terrible. Also, Crimson, you've been in the freezer a bit too long, so go mine steel over there because you're starting to become hypothermic. So if you take a look, trap melee damage 8. And then trap melee damage 20. So you would need 2.5 times more wood traps to offset the benefit of a steel trap. And then similarly, stone traps are 10. And the work to make them is like 269. The work to make a steel trap is 54. So it's 5 times more work for half the damage if you make them out of stone. Basically, it's make them out of steel. If you're wealthy as hell, you could, I guess, make them out of plasteel, because plasteel is going to be a pretty good trap too. But ultimately, like, steel is the jam. Because plasteel barely gives you more trap damage than steel. So, like, it's essentially steel or bust. Maybe obsidian? I don't think you can make obsidian traps, though. Raining on the dining table? Yeah. Torrentially so? Yeah. There. Problem solved. What about uranium? Uranium is more of a blunt than a sharp. So uranium is going to suffer the same problems. So once the kitchen is cleaned up, I'll, of course you screwed that up. My goodness. I will, lift the, meal production embargo. He screwed up at 7, I guess. But oof. Having him do a chem-gen is even more dangerous. Speaking of chem gens, we are very low on chem fuel. So I am definitely going to want to get that biofuel refinery up sooner than later. And I was thinking of maybe putting it right here in this, like, nook. Although with that in mind, taking a look at the overhead mountain, maybe not. Because I would like to have as much of the overhead mountain on a... open as possible. I'm going to change it a little bit. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have it standstill wall there, dig, 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 and then put it here, facing up that way. Okay, Crimson is up. Having a meal. Quantum. I'm going to wake you up a little early, because you and Crimson are going to do... Maybe not in the rain. You're going to do the ritual for Dark Shroud, or for Moral Ethicist. So Quantum's... Oh, yep. Maybe not in that room, because it's cold. Do it here, I guess. Roll change. Quantum. Spectator Crimson. Harmony Ethicist. Done. So the reason I'm picking him is he's beautiful, kind, and social. Kind of exactly the combination you want for the person, morale officer, if you will. And immediately goes back to sleep. My man! A solitary night. Definitely going to want to do that. Sure. And then eventually we will have coolers here all lined up. Oh, that one doesn't work. Well, it does if we want to be ugly. Hmm. So the reason I did this is so that we could stick the biofuel refinery here, have it be very close to the chem gens, and not taking up any of this non-overhead mountain. Because if it's starting to go wider here, I could even do hydroponic grows in this area in the future. That was sort of the idea. Okay. Haul the materials for the biofuel refinery, and then I'll have Crimson, because Crimson's construction skills higher. Crimson will actually do the... No, don't do the coolers. I don't trust you. I am missing steel for that. Got it. And I'm obviously not going to have the power for this. I'm just building this as like a wall for now. Alright, the kitchen is almost fully excavated, and then once the chunks have been hauled out of there, we will, we can continue cooking. So I have 11 meals left, so I've got about 3 days worth of time to do this. I like how I have like a nice roof to cover you from the rain here. And they're like, nah, I'm going to play horseshoe pins the other direction. I mean, obviously, if I wanted to stop that, what I could do is I could just like stick walls in the other interaction spots. But like, whatever. If they want to get wet, they get wet. I'm not going to stop them. I'm going to micromanage Tim so that he cleans up the kitchen so we don't have like filthy chunks in there. The chess table did get made. Good. Wasn't failed for a second time. And then we just need to floor it up, and it's good to go. So the next project is to tile this up and then build a recharger, because RCV and Kadath are basically out of charge. The Solitary Knight is being hunted, and I'm absolutely going to protect her. So except for Tim. Why Tim? Because he's hypersensitive. No acceptable food. Yeah, I don't care. So I'm going to have her run into the base. And there's a manhunting bullfrog chasing her. Let's have her go stand here. Crimson, pop that door open. And then go stand here. We have 21 hours of chem fuel left. Technically, the other generator has a little bit more fuel. And you'll see how ineffective the here's the bullfrog. How ineffective the deadfall traps are. So for right now, I'm gonna have like an allowed zone where everyone here is just gonna be allowed to stay within the colony, and hopefully the bullfrog will go into this door and trip the traps, and I'll get honor as a result. Sniper, thank you for the resub. Splat. Big splat. You're fresh though, huh? I guess if you're fresh, Butcher table. I'll stick here for now. So, Laca Peños, or whatever your name is, you're welcome. You wimp. Wow. You're a deserter? That's awkward. You deserted, what, not the Empire? Alright, schedule, lift, zoning, because it's safe. And you are out of here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Pacifists, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon one time only. Because it was streamed one time only, feedback cannot be incorporated, so there's no need for it in the comments. But if you have any questions for me, let me know down below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Adios.